can help. Also, 2019 is on the way, just around the corner, and maybe you're looking for Mr. or Mrs. Right. We have an idea for you, courtesy of Lori Cheek, who is the founder and CEO of Cheeked. Cheeked is a dating app. It's very unique, and you'll never miss a connection. Is that the best way to put this? Never miss a connection, right, Lori?
It's the answer to misconnections.
Okay, because that does happen. Sometimes maybe there was an opportunity, and maybe you were meant to meet the right person, but because you didn't make that connection, it doesn't happen. That's where your app comes in, right?
Exactly. It's happened to me a million times in New York City, and you never see that person ever again.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about your background. From what I understand, you're from Kentucky.
Yes.
But you've been in New York City for quite some time now. How many years?
23 years.
23 years, so you must be doing something, right? Yeah, that's not an easy city to live in. So
if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Anywhere, as Frank Sinatra says. So, but this dating app, okay, first of all, a little more about your background and how you came up with this idea, Lori.
So I say I'm an architect, no longer building structures, I'm now building relationships. That's my famous tagline. But, you know, living in New York for 16 years, I had so many misconnections with people. And one night I was out to dinner with a guy, and he slipped a business card to a woman as we were leaving the restaurant. And I couldn't stop thinking about how he used that tool to find a date. And I started brainstorming how to take the business out of the business card, and left my 15-year career in architecture and design, and now this is what I do.
This app is so impressive in that not only is it kind of state-of-the-art, but new technology, Bluetooth technology for a dating app. Tell us how that works, because you were telling me this can actually help you in real time.
Exactly. So when I initially started the business, you would slip a card to someone and it had a funny pickup line. So we've since sort of evolved from that idea, taken the eco-friendly route. Now it's a mobile dating app, but it works via Bluetooth. So if you walk into a crowded bar or even the gym, you have no idea who's single, who's married, who's gay, straight, looking to date. So I think this is a great way, because it will alert people in a 30-foot radius who's single and who would like to meet. So you have a chance to break the ice face-to-face before starting this virtual nonsense like most apps that usually lead to nothing.
Lori, from what I understand, you were on Shark Tank.
Yes.
Okay, but you were telling me that this app, since that time, has evolved. Tell me a little bit about your experience on Shark Tank and what that was like. I mean, that's a lot of pressure.
You know, I've been a very brave person my whole life, but I have never been more terrified as walking down that hallway getting ready to pitch my dream to these 5 vicious multi-millionaire investors. It was the scariest moment of my life, and I knew my life was on the line there, everything that I dreamt and surrendered my career for. And, yeah, I pretty much got shot down within 30, 45 minutes, and it was epic. But, you know, I think their refusal to invest in me sort of gave me fuel to succeed even more. So it was sort of a blessing, because I have not stopped, and I won't.
Yep, it's like all winners do. You took their advice. Instead of saying, okay, I'm going to shut down, I'm not going to follow this dream of mine, you said, okay, I'm going to listen. You were telling me that what kind of advice did you receive?
Well, I don't think they gave me too much constructive criticism. I mean, Kevin O'Leary started telling me one of the stories, and he said I needed to take my business behind a barn and shoot it like a rabid dog. So that was...
Oh, my goodness. Hello.
But, you know, even when he was telling me that story, I had zoned out. Like, I was not going to listen to what he was saying, because I knew it would sort of psych me out a little bit. So I tuned back into the whole panel once he was done telling the story. So I didn't even know what he'd said until I watched my episode air 4 months later. But Barbara Corcoran said I was the right entrepreneur with the wrong idea, and you know, I just took whatever advice I thought was constructive, and I rebuilt it into this new app that we have to this day.
So you said Barbara Corcoran complimented your entrepreneurship. She understood that you're a person that's very driven. And so where does this app sit now? For those who might want to get on Cheeked, how do they do that?
So you go into the iTunes store. It's free. You have nothing to lose except an opportunity. You just have to turn your Bluetooth on, and it's low-energy Bluetooth technology, so it doesn't drain your battery. So you can find that in the iTunes store, and we're all over social media as Cheeked, C-H-E-E-K-D.
Wow, it's pretty exciting. And this is the perfect time, because as we get ready for 2019, there are folks out there who are looking for the right person, and you never miss a connection. I like that, because that does happen. So this can kind of, I don't know, be proactive, be ahead of it, meet people via technology. I think it's fabulous. Now, you were telling me, though, Lori, that you have some new apps coming out, some new ideas, and this brain of yours is still cranking, right?
Yes.
Let's hear about it.
Never stop. So, well, my partner and I and another gentleman have started a new app. It's a spin-off of Cheeked called Networked. So basically, if you go into a networking event or an expo or a conference, you can find people that you're interested in meeting. So it could be a new hire, a web developer, anybody, or just general networking. And over Thanksgiving, I had another light bulb idea inspired by my mother swiping on some dating apps for me, and I came up with an idea about mom swiping, but then I added some people onto it. So it's a new app called Squad. We're just in the beginning of this. I'm looking for a seed round of that. May even try to take that back on the Shark Tank if they'd have me. But it's a team of people that will be swiping for you.
Well, what is it about your background? You're an idea person. You're a light bulb person. Things happen in your brain. You say, I'm going to put these in action. What is it about you that you think may be different from me or maybe some of the folks who are watching now?
I mean, I've been coming up with ideas my whole life, and I feel like I've always had that entrepreneurial itch as a kid. But I think I'm very stubborn, and when I decide to do something, I go full throttle ahead. Like I say, I don't do anything halfway in life. And even with this new business idea, I went and bought the URL immediately, and I just think it's about putting things in motion. And once I see something start to come to life, then I nurture it and make it grow, and it's just been the most rewarding journey of my life.
You touched upon my next question a little bit there, Lori, in that if there was maybe an entrepreneur or future entrepreneur watching who thinks they have a good idea, what would you recommend to them?
I mean, it's scary, and I think you really have to vet your idea. So a lot of people are like, don't tell anybody because someone's going to steal it. I mean, I just said my app idea on the news. But I think it takes a lot to build a business, and you've got to make sure that your idea is valid. So I do say go around asking people what they think of your idea. And if you believe in it more than anything, bulldoze forward, don't give up, surround yourself with positive people, and it will be the magic of a lifetime.
I like that. Okay, a big part of starting a new business, though, fundraising. So are you doing all of that in New York? Are you doing a little bit of that here as well?
I mean, I'm always looking for money to build and to market what I already have. But yes, I would actually love to get investors here in Louisville for a change. I'm trying to circle back, full circle, and get some investment from my roots. And I also want to be a part of the Louisville startup scene, too, and help mentor some exciting new startups here.
I mean, we're all very proud of you and what you've accomplished and living in New York City. I think that's great. We'd like to see the hometown guys and the hometown gals do very well. But good, yeah, bring some of that back home. Thank you. Let's make sure that happens. For folks, Lori, who want to keep up with you and maybe learn a little bit more about your ideas, your business, or perhaps go ahead and grab that app Cheeked, is this the number they can reach you?
That's my phone number, and you can find me on social media everywhere at Cheeked, and I'm Lori Cheek NYC on Twitter if you want to send me a tweet.
All right, there you go. Lori, this is great. We're going to start off 2019. You're going to help some people connect.
I sure hope so.
That's right. Never miss a connection. All right, coming up.